So what's the government going to do? It's day 19 and the farmers are only going to escalate their protests. Good evening. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. But along with the protest, which is now in agitation, is the politics over it. Well, the Aam Aadmi Party today, Arvind Kejriwal, had a token one-day fast in solidarity with the farmers. The BJP and the Congress were quick to call out that hypocrisy. But what you're going to be discussing through the course of To The Point today is duplicity over farmers. Is it just the domain of the Aam Aadmi Party or even the Congress and the BJP? All guilty. Take a look. Farmers versus the government. Day 19 with no headway. Farmers up the pressure. After blocking highways, now a token hunger strike in the name of 12 farmers who have died during the agitation. The Kisan now digging in his heels in Kranti.
सरकारों को बात सुननी पड़ेगी, वे आज सुन लें, वे 10 दिन में सुन लें। हम बात से इसका समाधान चाहते हैं। ठीक है, किसान वापसी नहीं जाना यहाँ से।
The government still open to talks but close to demands of repealing the 3 farm laws.
We are, however, always willing to listen to our farmer brothers, allay their misgivings, provide them with assurances we can provide.
And on the sidelines, politics speaking over the protest. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal sat in on a day's hunger strike in solidarity, demanding centre roll back the laws, terming them favourable for corporates.
आज आम आदमी पार्टी केंद्र सरकार से मांग करती है कि तुरंत इन तीनों कानूनों को खारिज किया जाए और जो किसानों की मांगे हैं वो पूरी की जाए.
BJP quick to hit back, saying that it was Kejriwal himself who notified the farm bills in the capital this November and is now resorting to politics. Moreover, Mr. Kejriwal himself had promised amendments to the APMC Act during the Punjab polls as a promise by the Aam Aadmi Party.
आप तो वही अरविंद केजरीवाल जी हैं और यही आम आदमी पार्टी है जिसने जब पंजाब में चुनाव हुआ था तो अपने मैनिफेस्टो में डिक्लेयर किया था कि अगर पंजाब में हम सत्ता में आ जाएंगे तो हम बिचौलियों को हटा देंगे, एपीएमसी रिफॉर्म करेंगे कहने वाले आप ही की मैनिफेस्टो थी और आज आप भूख हड़ताल पे बैठ गए.
Meanwhile, the Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh also called out Kejriwal's hypocrisy, stating that the Delhi Chief Minister is shameless, a liar who backstabbed farmers. However, quick look in the past and it's quite easy to gauge that all political parties are none the better when it comes to duplicity over farm protests. If the Aam Aadmi Party today is fasting in solidarity with farmers, then it was the same party who promised amendments to the APMC Act, the same party who notified one of the laws in November 2020. The Congress in its own manifesto in 2019 had promised to bring similar amendments to the APMCs. NCP's Sharad Pawar, an ally of the Congress, then Union Minister, had written to all chief ministers of states seeking private sector participation. Where the BJP is concerned, in 2011, as Gujarat Chief Minister and head of a committee on consumer affairs, Mr. Modi had submitted a report on MSP, seeking no transaction below it, and recommending that MSP be part of a law. While politics peaks, the farmers continue to be on the offensive, clear with the demand of all or nothing. Protest till laws are repealed. Bureau Report, India Today. Going to a political panel in just about a minute. I want to cut across to my colleague Moshmi, who's joining us from the Singhu border. Moshmi, today was a token fast, especially for the 12 fallen farmers who died of natural causes through this agitation. What tomorrow? How are the farmers going to escalate their protests right now?
See, clearly, Preeti, the standoff is only escalating ever since the talks broke down, there have been an extension of the olive branch right from Rajnath Singh to other ministers saying that the talks should start all over again. So one will have to wait and see. The Farmers Union, they are consulting and strategizing. They are planning to devise a blueprint for the future ahead, whether whether talks are the way or a standoff, intensifying the standoff is a way ahead is the big question, and that's why one will have to wait and see whether there is unity in that resolve, in that step that needs to be taken ahead. But it's a matter of fact that other states, farmers from various nook and corners of the country have joined the agitation. It's a fact that it's biting cold in Delhi, and clearly the farmers are resolved in this on this count, that no matter how cold it gets, no matter how hard it gets, they are absolutely adamant on one demand, that the law should be struck down.
Appreciate you joining us, Maushmi. Well, that's been their demand. What now is the big question, and we'll only know in days to come. Thank you. I want to cut across to our political panel. I have Aatishi, spokesperson Aam Aadmi Party, Adil Singh Bopuroy, spokesperson Congress, Sardar RP Singh, spokesperson BJP. Aatishi, why shouldn't the Aam Aadmi Party's duplicity be called out now? You've already notified one of the three laws. When you were fighting the Punjab election, you went in with saying that you wanted the APMC Act to be recommended.
First of all, I think, Preeti, you being a senior journalist do know the fact that any law that is passed by the parliament or any law that is introduced as an ordinance by the central government becomes law across the country as soon as the president signs that act. It does not require notification by any state government, because if it did, and it was only a simple matter of a state government notifying or not notifying the law, then in no states across the country where there has been opposition to the farm law would the law have been implemented. Number one. Number two, we have been standing with the farmers' agitation from the first day against these laws, because there is still no answer to the question that what is the reason why these laws were introduced in such a hurry? Via an ordinance at a time when the entire country was battling the corona pandemic? What was the need? The central government is saying that these laws are in the interests of the farmers of the country. The farmers of the country are saying, we do not want these laws. Then why is the government being so arrogant? Why is the government being so stubborn and not rescinding those laws? If you made laws to favor the farmers in the interest of the farmers, but the farmers do not want those, then why are you not taking them back? That is the simple question that the central government has to answer. Otherwise, one will have to believe all these conspiracy theories that it is to support large-scale corporate farmers of big companies that support the BJP, which is the ruling party, for whom this law has been made.
Aatishi, just want to ask you a quick question. Once you're completely right. Once the president puts the seal of approval, the ordinance becomes a law. But a state like Punjab have refused to notify this particular law because they were opposing it. Couldn't Delhi do the same?
See, the state of Punjab has done all kinds of seemingly unconstitutional things. They have passed a bill in the assembly against this law, knowing very well that has absolutely no impact on whether that law is implemented or not implemented. That was their attempt of the ruling Congress party in Punjab to actually fool the people of Punjab to say that they supposedly oppose the bill. But we have seen exactly what Captain Amrinder has done thereafter. As soon as the ED screws were tightened and Captain Amrinder went to meet the Home Minister Amit Shah, this so-called opposition to the farm bill ended, and then he started saying things like a totally different tone was seen. He started saying things like, oh, the farmers should compromise. Oh, this farmers' protest is a threat to national security. So it was only a question of the ED screws being tightened, of the captain wanting his son saved from the prosecution of the Enforcement Directorate, and the opposition to the farm bill went straight out of the window.
Okay. Adil, would you want to come in on that? Because, you know, I want to, A, of course, respond to what Aatishi is saying, and B, how is Congress any the better? What was your manifesto in 2019? You yourself had it in your manifesto, an APMC Act, which was pretty much mirrors what you have right now. On the other hand, your own agriculture minister, Sharad Pawar, your ally, was very clear he wanted privatization. So how, you know, why the hypocrisy now?
There is something which I must put out to your medium. The farmers of this country are anguished because the Bharatiya Janata Party and their ministers are labeling us as Naxalites, as terrorists, as anti-nationals. We are the same farmers who fed this country. We are the same farmers who send our brothers and our children to the border to guard this country's territorial integrity. And this method to madness which the Bharatiya Janata Party repeatedly uses to discredit and delegitimize popular protest as some kind of a vile conspiracy must be deprecated in a democracy.
Adil, what about the Aam Aadmi Party? You have Atashi saying that the minute your Chief Minister of Punjab met the Home Minister, he diluted his demands. Yes.
This was my preliminary point.
Okay.
Now, responding to what Ms. Atashi has said, unfortunately, the Aam Aadmi Party wears its ignorance as a badge of honor. Number one, the Congress Party sticks to its stand that agriculture and markets comes under the state list. So therefore, the attempt by the central government to legislate on items or subjects under the state list is unconstitutional. Number one. Number two, it was our bona fide and our sincerity to the cause of the farmers that we came out with laws attempting to nullify the central legislation. Unfortunately, the governors today in this country acts as agents of the central government, but as far as the Congress is concerned, we have shown our sincerity and the farmers understand this. Now, responding to what Ms. Atashi has said about the Congress Party, let me remind her that we're the same party which ushered the Green Revolution. We're the same party which undertook the debt waiver, and we're the same party which was the first to raise the bugle on the anti-farmer ordinances when Aam Aadmi Party was busy playing B team for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, coming to the merits of the issue, Preeti.
But Adil, aren't you the same party in 2019 which had in its manifesto a very similar bill promise?
You put this question to me multiple times, you and other members of your fraternity, two Congress leaders. Let me put this and settle the dust once and for all. Please read the Congress Party manifesto. What we sought to create was more markets. What we were seeking to create was more avenues for trading. We were not seeking to create unregulated markets. There's a sea difference. Any person who understands how business functions, agriculture functions would know. We wanted to create more avenues for sale and trade of farmers produce, but not unregulated systems. The Bharatiya Janata Party is seeking to replace the entire agriculture produced marketing system with a handful of intermediaries. The Adanis and Ambanis are the middlemen which the Bharatiya Janata Party wants to create to capture and monopolize the agriculture market. And that is why the farmer of this country is up in arms. That is why the farmer of this country is trying to repeal these laws. And this is an apolitical movement.
Okay.
Yeah, I must point this out.
The BJP also says that your Chief Minister of Punjab, Amrinder Singh, was a part very much, of the core group which looked into this law. Why did he raise objections there?
Absolute bankam.
Okay.
Absolute bankam. If that joker Sambit Patra is saying this, he doesn't understand anything.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's not get personal. Let's not get into name calling. That's wrong, Adil. Sambit is not here to defend himself. You can say that's wrong.
Let's not. Okay. The public.
Okay, but let's not. Okay, can just refrain. Adil, all I'll ask is on this show, it's a humble request, sir. Okay, on this show, Adil Singh Bopura, on this show, a humble request, steer clear from name calling. You can call out what you think is wrong. All right, let me go to RP Singh, Sardar RP Singh now. Sardar RP Singh, two quick questions. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I have to because your own party general secretary says this movement is 99% Naxal, leftist, Tukde gang, 1% farmers. Do you agree, sir?
Can I make a small reference? And I'll come to that also. The manifesto of the Congress said, they repeal the APMC Act and make trade in agriculture produce, including export and interstate trade, free from all restrictions. Not me, the Congress manifesto. Just to remind, Adil is a very learned friend. He's a very learned lawyer also. So that's I thought he probably is missing on the repeal as a word. But coming to that Tukde gang and all, let's understand, there are farmers who are genuine farmers from Punjab and then from some part of Haryana also, majority from Punjab. I'm saying on record, Captain Amrinder Singh took an oath on Gutka Sahib and said that मैं 6 महीने नशा दूर कर दूं. I'll ensure that Punjab is drug free in 6 months. I'll provide mobile phone free to every child, and I'll ensure that every Kisan is free from the loan. He said, I'll waive the farmer's loan, 90,000 crore rupees farmer's loan. They didn't fulfill any of the promises, taking oath on Gutka Sahib. And then that's why he has put farmers into all this. He has brought the 3 amendment to the bills. He could have brought the 4th one of waiving of the loan for the farmers. Shall I tell you the game plan? The game plan is that all this is because that 90,000 crore rupees is debt because of the artis in Punjab, because of the middlemen in the Punjab. And then Mr. Captain Amrinder Singh can't do away with that because there's a complete game plan. There's huge money which turns around that thing. And give me another second. Atishi, because you have 2 versus 1. And also Atishi, my request.
No, now it's all 3 of you. It's a Mexican standoff, sir. Aam Aadmi Party saying that is against the Congress, is against the BJP. There's no 2 against 1.
Can I make a request? It's about 1 point. 2616 was the MSP declared by Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi. Only benefited to only 5 farmers. There are 20,000 farmers in Delhi. Only 5 farmers were benefited from that MSP, which the Aam Aadmi Party announced. Second, they said we are giving capsule to all farmers in Delhi to turn parali into manure. I give a challenge. Let them produce a single bill from where did they procure the capsules. The capsule is produced by USA, and they can produce a single bill. Only thing is they can sing songs. They can play politics.
RP Singh, sir, the fact is 2 questions. I'll come back. Just give me.
Please do answer the question addressed to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is it that you're not repealing the farm laws despite farmers protesting for 19 days in the bitter cold?
Mr. Singh, 2 questions.
You say that the laws are in the interests of farmers. Then if the farmers don't want them, why don't you withdraw them? What's the problem? What's the arrogance?
Mr. Singh, now taking back another question, sir, which is at the back, you've reminded the Aam Aadmi Party of 2016, what they did wrong. You've reminded, the Congress about what happened with Mr. Amrinder Singh. Let's go back to 2013. Your Prime Minister, our Prime Minister today, who was then the Chief Minister of Gujarat, headed a panel and said that MSP should be hardwired into a law.
Okay, I'll answer that also. We have given to farmers the part of the negotiation. We have told farmers if we are prepared to incorporate MSP and then prepared to take an MSP as a written assurance. Not only that, going further, can I give another second? Another second, please. Going further, that no mandi will be scrapped off, and if there are private mandis, they'll be given an equal playing field by levying tax on them. Thirdly, not only that, if there's a dispute, you can go further from SDM to civil court. Not only that, also into fast track court.
Okay, we know all of this, but there are still apprehensions. Okay, Adil, you wanted to quickly come in, and then I'll go to Atishi. Go, Adil, come in. You wanted to make a point.
Preeti, I have great respect for Arvind Singh ji. A written assuring is meaningless. If tomorrow a farmer is shortchanged or duped, will he take a letter of the Union Agriculture Minister and go show around to Adanis and Ambanis? It is meaningless. It is not effective in a court of law. So that is why, if your intentions are noble and if you are sincere to the cause of the farmers, then what is the difficulty in putting down a clause, a proviso that there will be no sale transaction below the MSP? Because
then the bill is infructuous. Okay. Atishi,
it is meaningless. It's neither here nor there.
Well, if it is hardwired, the bill is infructuous because that's what the bill is. Yes, Atishi.
Preeti, it's not just about the MSP. Look at the unlimited amount of hoarding that is allowed under these laws. Today, as a government in Delhi, when the prices, for example, of onions, and this happens every year, that there's a certain amount of hoarding that happens, onion prices shoot up, the government can act against hoarders. But as per the current law, now no government can act against hoarding unless prices increase by 100%. Only in the case of doubling of prices within the span of 1 year is the state government even allowed to act. So it's not just that the farmers are getting affected. It is also people who are living in cities who have to buy the produce. These laws allow for large corporates basically to hoard as much as they can, control the market, and no government can act against them till the prices actually double. This is not just against the interests of the farmers. This is against the interest of every citizen of this country.
All right.
This means that every year, doubling of prices is allowed.
Okay. RP Singh, quickly, and then I'm going to take a break. Yes, answer.
Very small point. Every point we can discuss on table, and we are still on. We have already ceded to a lot of things which farmers has a general issues which are raised by farmers. But not talking is not a way out. And then since there's a lot of political interest which has come in, a lot of left parties and radical left and urban Maoists and urban Nexus kind of compete, man.
So don't give the credit to left parties, because if left parties really had the kind of support, they wouldn't be where they are. So give the credit where it's due, which is the farmers here.
I'll give you the name of the, and I'll give you the name of the organizations. I'll give you the name of the leaders.
The farmers have totally distanced themselves, sir.
Every time the BJP does not have an answer, their response is urban hucksters, their response is Pakistani, their response is terrorists.
Okay, with our panelists.
Adel, your clown prince was missing in the parliament when the discussion was happening.
Please answer the question, RP Singh ji. Do you?
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.